Why so serious? Because you keep killing people, you mad bastard. You killed my cousin Bill, I'm gonna miss him. Stop killing people. I'm so serious. The Joker is the greatest comic book villain of all time, and look, he is though. There's a number of reasons for that. He's psychologically fascinating. He's been played by cinematic royalty in the form of Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, and Mark Hamill, and perhaps most importantly, he's impacted upon his nemesis in the most shocking, permanent ways in the history of comics. And this is just a quick crudité selection of those. I'm Plumpy from WhatCulture.com, and here are the Joker's 10 most sickeningly twisted moments. Number 10, the brainwashing of Tim Drake. Batman Beyond was an odd series. It was very good, but the future setting never quite managed the glory of Batman the Animated Series. However, it did produce an absolutely stellar movie, Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker. In a flashback, it's revealed that Joker abducts, tortures, and brainwashes Tim Drake. He creates a mini Joker of sorts, and while his brainwashing ultimately doesn't stick, the sight of a Joker venom-infected child laughing until he weeps is bloody terrifying. Number 9, Emperor Joker. In Jeff Loeb and Ed McGuinness's epic Superman crossover Emperor Joker, Joker steals Mr. Mxyzptlk's powers, he's a reality-altering imp, don't ask, and the Crown Prince of Crime becomes an omnipotent being. Superman, realizing that something is amiss, attempts to right the balance, because that's what he does. Before Joker is brought down by Superman, his achievements include the daily torture, murder, and resurrection of Batman, and eating the entire population of China. For fun. Number 8, the Full Monty. Reinvented in The Dark Knight as a more realistic, sadistic foe, Joker's new look bled through to the comics in Brian Azzarello's grim graphic novel Joker, a more realistic take on the Batman-Joker mythos. This isn't your giant Joker in the box or poisoning fish to make them smile, Ace of Knaves. No, it's more like the Ace of Knives and almost, Jesus Christ, what the is that? The most memorable moment in the story sees Joker and chums visit an old accomplice called Monty. After Joker and Monty disappear into a back room to talk business, the latter emerges, skinned from the shoulders down. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, God, look at it. Number 7, the Sniper Spree. Here's a recommendation for you, Gotham Central. It's brilliant, and one of the best storylines is an absolutely chilling one where the Joker runs amok in the city with a sniper rifle. At Christmas, you dick. Again, this is a far cry from the elaborate circus-based japery of the 60s. It's just a maniac with a gun picking people off for sport, which is much, much scarier. Number 6, breaking his own spine. In this case, it's literally a twisted thing that Mr. J has done. Ho-ho! In The Dark Knight Returns, Frank Miller's seminal 80s masterpiece before he went all middle-aged and crazy, Joker is heavily implied to be in love with Batman, waking up from a catatonic state when Batsy re-emerges in public. Joker's time in the story ends with a battle in a funfair, of course, with Batman and Joker having a fatal dust-up in the Tunnel of Love. Despite sticking a knife between his ribs and a batarang in his eye, Batman still won't kill Joker. So Mr. J takes matters into his own back and snaps his own spine just to spite Batman. Number 5, Death of the Family. For anyone who's not familiar with Scott Snyder's work on Batman, get familiar because he's probably the best writer to take control of the Caped Crusader in the last decade. His entire New 52 Batman run is brilliant, but arguably the best story arc is Death of the Family, featuring Joker's return to Gotham after he took a gap year to get over what happened to his face. We will get to that. Turns out you can plan a lot in a year, and Joker's rampage over the course of 6 issues is truly monstrous, culminating in a dinner scene featuring all of Batman's allies, where it's revealed that Joker has cut off all their faces and is serving them up on a silver platter. Yum! This is revealed to be a sick joke, but still, it's mind games at their most sickening. Number 4, Face Off. The Joker has a lot in common with Nicolas Cage. They're both obviously just making shit up as they go along. They're both bonkers conkers, and they both look like they're having a really great time. Also, they both had their faces taken off them. Yep, as soon as the DC Comics universe rebooted itself into the New 52, the Joker was written off for a year pretty much immediately with one gruesome incident. A villain called the Dollmaker removed the Joker's face and nailed it to a wall. Then Joker stole his face, murdering 19 cops as he did so, and stapled it back onto his own head, where it sat atop his muscle and sinew, a rotting, saggy mask. Number 3, Crippling Barbara. Barbara Gordon was Batgirl, and has since returned to be Batgirl today, but in Alan Moore's Killing Joke one-shot story, originally intended to be a one-off non-canonical story, Joker shoots her through the spine, consigning her to a wheelchair and forcing her metamorphosis into Oracle, basically Batman's version of Siri. It's a gruesome, horrible moment, not only because Joker then followed up the shooting by taking sexual photos of Barbara, but because it radically changes a beloved character. Number 2, the murder of Sarah Essen. The Joker is such a goddamn bellend. No, he really is, though, and no one knows that more than Jim Gordon. Not only has the Joker stuck an axe in his chest, frequently murdered his officers and crippled his daughter, but he also murdered his second wife, Sarah Essen. It happened at the end of an important Batman event, No Man's Land, where Gotham is hit by an earthquake and reverts to a crime-torn urban jungle. The Joker kidnaps dozens of babies, and Sarah Essen arrives on the scene first, having Mr. J banged to rights at gunpoint. He then throws a baby at her, which she catches, giving him the opportunity to grab her gun and shoot her in the head. Sure, he's one of the most charismatic comic creations of all time, but never ever forget that the Joker is a prick. And number 1, the murder of Jason Todd. Despite second Robin Jason Todd's fate being a transparent phone vote to rake in cash, DC made $5,000 from the 10,000 plus calls. It's one of the seminal moments in the history of Batman. For a long time, Jason Todd was one of the few characters in comics that actually stayed dead. He eventually returned because this is comics we're talking about, but the murder of Jason Todd is iconic. The crowbar, the empty costume in the glass case. It's been referenced by writers for decades, even as recently as a dead Robin's costume featuring in Batman vs. Superman. And it's all the Joker's fault. And that's our list. Did we miss any out? Tell us about it in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter here. I'm Plumpy from WhatCulture.com, and I'll see you soon.